plot officially thickens when it comes to the new off-season basketball league known as Project B. Very interesting now, because now officially we have two Indiana Fever superstars. Got to remember, neither one of these players are technically under contract anymore.
Okay, so the silence just completely shattered. Sophie Cunningham, who is literally the third most popular player in the WNBA, just signed her deal with Project B. And this sends a huge message across the entire league. This isn't just some regular off-season move. You have to see it as a bell tolling for the old way of doing things. It's a loud and clear declaration that women's basketball is changing, and it's not going back. With this bombshell dropping, all those whispers about Caitlin Clark's future, they just became a full-on roar. Now the question isn't if she'll join, but when. The stage is completely set for a massive exodus of talent, and Sophie's signature basically just confirmed the path that Caitlin will almost certainly take. So get ready, because the biggest name in sports is about to make a huge decision, and this moment right here is what made it all inevitable. Project B is for real.
This was one of the big names that I was waiting to hear. Somebody that by Google Analytics during the season showed to be the third most popular player in all of the WNBA by sheer search volume. And now Sophie is joining this league and will bring a lot more attention, because I think we all know Sophie Cunningham is now sort of taking that step up the on the stature level of
So what even is Project B? It's not just another league popping up. This thing is a seismic event. It's a global women's basketball initiative, and they're gearing up to launch in the fall of 2026. What they're promising is real. 5-on-5 basketball. We're talking 6 powerhouse teams, each with 11 players. And here's the really smart part. They've strategically positioned it to run during the WNBA offseason. That timing is so clever, it means they won't directly go head-to-head with the WNBA's schedule. But it is absolutely set up to dominate that other 3-on-3 rival, unrivaled. The implications of this are just enormous. It's setting the stage for a totally new era, where players have way more choices and way more financial power than ever before. This isn't just a simple competition for players, it's really a battle for the soul of the offseason.
Teams, and will take place during the WNBA offseason. Therefore, while it won't compete with the WNBA, it will compete against unrivaled 3-on-3 basketball. That includes many of women's basketball's top players. But many elite WNBA stars have already agreed to play in Project B. Guys, we got to remember one thing about this that is going to be more appealing than unrivaled. It's 5-on-5 basketball. All right, which is...
And look, Sophie Cunningham's decision to jump to Project B is just monumental. It's way bigger than a lot of people are even realizing right now. Check this out. During the last WNBA season, Google Analytics showed that Sophie is the third most popular player in the entire league. That's measured just by how many people are searching her name. Her massive popularity and that undeniable connection she has with fans, it instantly turns Project B into something you have to watch. It's going to pull in tons of fans who might have just ignored another new league. Her star power alone guarantees a huge boost in attention, not just from the die-hard basketball fans, but from a much wider audience. This signing is a major, major win for them. It signals a serious threat to how things have always been done, and it really hints that even bigger names are probably on their way.
Very cool. Very cool. The signing of Sophie Cunningham elevates Project B into must-watch TV territory. Fair play, Soph. It'll be interesting to see over the coming months what other Fever players follow you and Kelsey. You've really got to wonder, is Lexi Hull not far behind? I mean, let's be real here. Minimum $2 million a year salary, and that is the minimum. I will be very interested to see what do the salaries look like as they start emerging.
And Sophie herself wasn't quiet about it. She didn't mince words at all when she explained why she made the move. She actually dropped a video where she talked directly about her reasons for joining Project B. She said she was incredibly excited to be part of their athlete roster. But here's the key thing she emphasized. The league is giving women's basketball a platform that it absolutely deserves. And not just here in the United States, but all across the world. That statement right there shows you it's about more than just a paycheck. It highlights this deep desire for the sport to get broader recognition and more opportunities on a global scale. It's really about elevating the whole game, expanding its reach, and making sure these players are seen on a true international stage. You can just feel her passion, and it really underlines the promise of this new league.
I mean, how do you watch games in this league? The players it has signed so far are big names getting big salaries. Project B is luring players with what Front Office Sports reported were annual salaries over $2 million. The WNBA Supermax last year was under $300,000. The league has still not offered a max salary over $1 million in its ongoing and contentious labor negotiations.
And Sophie's signing isn't happening in a vacuum. It comes right after another Indiana Fever superstar, Kelsey Mitchell, committed to Project B back on November 24th. You see that? This pattern of key leader from the very same WNBA team making this leap is incredibly telling. Now, neither of them are currently under contract because of their one-year deals and some CBA rules, but their loyalty to the Fever was strong. So now, with two major figures from the same organization choosing this new path, it paints a really clear picture for everyone. The gravitational pull of Project B is just undeniable at this point. The question now isn't just who else is going to follow them, but which other WNBA teams are about to see their own players make these same kinds of jumps.
Interesting. Now, onlookers have observed that Project B followed players on social media shortly before announcing they'd be committed to join. By the way, their Front Office Sports is now pointing out something. They're pointing out who the league is following. It also follows retired WNBA players Diana Taurasi and Chini Agumake.
Now, one of Project B's biggest and most compelling advantages over its rival, Unrivaled, really comes down to its basic gameplay. While Unrivaled is all about 3-on-3 basketball, Project B is championing the traditional, beloved 5-on-5 format. And listen, this isn't just some minor detail. It's a critical difference that speaks directly to both the players and the fans. The general feeling is pretty clear. 5-on-5 is the true heart and soul of basketball. It offers a much more complete and dynamic game. A lot of people see the 3-on-3 format as a pretty big flaw, a less engaging version of the sport. So Project B's commitment to 5-on-5 is a very deliberate and strategic move. It's positioning itself as the obvious superior choice for elite athletes who are trying to stay in peak form during the off-season.
See, okay, so they're paying the Saudis. I will say this. I like the fact that Steve Young is involved. Yeah, former 49ers quarterback, NFL MVP, and Novak Djokovic is also one of the investors. So I find that very interesting. And there she is, right there. I had a feeling this was coming, that Sophie Cunningham was headed to Project B soon. I thought it was very interesting.
Okay, but here is the absolute bombshell. This is the thing that shatters any doubt about how appealing Project B is. It's the money. Front Office Sports reported that Project B is luring players with annually that go over a staggering $2 million. Just let that sink in for a second. Now compare that to the WNBA Supermax salary last year, which was stuck at under $300,000. This isn't just a little raise we're talking about. It's a massive financial chasm. It's an almost 10 times increase that completely changes the career path and the earning potential for these women's basketball stars. It's a completely unprecedented economic incentive. It makes Project B not just an alternative, but an entirely new stratosphere for professional athletes to really thrive in.
You know, there's like, what, 3 other names that people are really waiting on. Well, look, they're waiting on Caitlin Clark above everybody else. All right, they're waiting on Caitlin Clark above everybody else. Because if they get Caitlin Clark, the league's going to be successful. A'ja Wilson and Angel Reese are the other 2 names everybody is waiting on. You know, Angel's not in Unrivaled. A'ja hasn't played in any off-season leagues.
I mean, this staggering difference in salary is even more jarring when you think about the WNBA's ongoing, and let's be real, contentious labor negotiations. For years, the league has struggled, and frankly, it has failed to offer a maximum salary that even gets over $1 million for its top talent. This constant refusal to pay its stars what they're actually worth, in line with their market value and global impact, it's created a total powder keg of unhappiness. And Project B is just stepping right into that vacuum, offering exactly what the established league has consistently denied them. The list of elite WNBA stars who have already committed reads like an all-star roster, which just cements how legitimate this thing is. We're talking names like Jonquel Jones, Jewell Loyd, and Camila Cardoso. They've all officially joined. And what's really interesting here is that several of these powerhouses, including Jones and Cardoso, never even bothered to play in the rival Unrivaled league. That selective choice speaks volumes. It shows that Project B isn't just getting any talent, it's getting the discerning talent. On top of that, their recruitment strategy is subtle but masterful. People have noticed the league's official account will start following certain players, and then a short time later their commitment is announced. It's a digital breadcrumb trail. They're even following legends like Diana Taurasi and Shiny Aguamaike, hinting at future role. Now about the funding, they've said no Saudi Arabia dollars directly, but they do have a deal with Sela, a Saudi events company where Project B pays them for services. It's a careful distinction, adding more credibility. They have investors like NFL MVP Steve Young and tennis icon Novak Djokovic. Their involvement is a powerful endorsement. Because of all this, the feeling is clear. Unrivaled is basically done. Why would a top athlete choose smaller payouts in 3-on-3 when this groundbreaking alternative is right there? Meanwhile, there's this silent group of players who haven't committed anywhere yet, probably waiting for that massive Project B offer. And amidst all this, one name towers above everyone: Caitlin Clark. She is, without a doubt, the player everyone is waiting on. If Project B lands her, it's a runaway hit. While she's the ultimate prize, A'ja Wilson and Angel Reese are also huge target. A'ja has famously stayed away from all off-season leagues, so her move would be a complete signal of a power shift. Given the crazy salaries, the global platform, and the 5-on-5 format, the writing is on the wall. Caitlin Clark's move seems not just likely, but inevitable. The ripple effect is already hitting teams like the Indiana Fever, with fans wondering if Lexi Hull is next. And as excitement builds, fans are asking, how do we watch? The demand is there. Sophie's signing was a turning point, a declaration that the power dynamics are changing. Project B is forcing the entire WNBA to face a new reality. And the big question is how the league will adapt to this massive challenge.